talk. I gotta tell what I feel. I gotta talk about my life as I see it.
Biggie.
What's good people? Welcome back to another episode of Life with your boy Tyler. I appreciate everybody tuning in to yet another Worthy Wednesday. This week I want to talk about the celebration of Kwanzaa, the holiday Kwanzaa. I want to talk about what it is. I want to talk about what it means to celebrate it and what it represents, as well as the importance of Kwanzaa. So without further ado, let's just get into it. The reason why I really wanted to make this video is because Kwanzaa is a holiday that was created by an African man, a black man, for African people or black people. But not many black people even know what Kwanzaa is, let alone celebrate it. So I just want to do my part in, helping educate the people on what Kwanzaa is, the importance of it, and why we should celebrate it, and why we should appreciate something like this. So Kwanzaa is a celebration that was created in 1966 by a man named Maulana Karenga. He created it to help educate and help African people or black people reconnect with our African roots as far as what our heritage is and what our culture is. And yeah, not only reconnecting with it, but also celebrating and uplifting those traditions. It's a 7-day long celebration, so it commences on December 26th and it ends on January 1st, the first of the year. And the word Kwanzaa derives from an African phrase or a Swahili phrase, which is Matunda ya Kwanzaa, which means the first fruits of the harvest. And honestly, my interpretation of that, whether it's right or wrong, is that because it's the last week of the year and heading to the new year, the first fruits of the harvest is like representative of preparing for the new year, the first things that we are preparing ourselves to do and get ourselves ready for in the new year. So there are 7 principles involved with Kwanzaa. There's 7 candles. There's 1 black in the middle, and there's 3 red on one side and 3 green on the other side. For each day, that's when you light a candle. You light a candle for each day. So the first day would be the black candle. The colors do have meanings. The black represents the people, the green represents the future, and the red represents the struggle of our people. So the first day represents the principle of umoja, which means unity. And on this day, we are to strive for and maintain unity in a family, community, in our nation, and in our race. So to me, maintaining that unity within our family, our community, and with our nation and our race just means to love on each other. Too often we are feuding with each other over nothing, little to nothing. We're killing each other, and obviously there are other factors that play into why we do those things, but that's not an excuse for it. I'm not justifying it at all. But we have to learn to see each other as brothers and sisters opposed to just strangers on the street or enemies. One of the things that is a true fact about us, but it's very unfortunate, is that we're one of the most self-destructive people. We're quick to criticize each other or do harm upon each other, or, over nothing. You know what I'm saying? You stepped on my shoes and I don't want to fight or whatever, but I'm not here to talk about the negative. I'm here to keep it positive. So maintain that unity by loving on each other, man. Like, we gotta see each other as family more than anything. So yeah, I just think it's about spreading that love within our community. And it could be little simple things, man. Instead of mean mugging somebody or completely ignoring one of your brothers and sisters, your black counterparts, give them a smile, you know what I'm saying? Flash a smile or say what's up, say how you doing. Just little acts of kindness and little acts of love like that can really make a difference and change how we view each other. So the second day is Kujichagulia, which means self-determination. And on this day, means to define and name ourselves as well as to create and speak for ourselves. So to me, this is representative of taking our own lives and molding them. Our whole lives are in our own hands. Our destiny falls within our own hands. So we have to teach our children those things. We have to teach our kids that they are in control of how their lives turn out. They have the ultimate control. They have that power. You don't have to rely on any outside forces or any outside people. None of that. Everything that you ever need is already within you. We just got to encourage them and speak life into them. Tell them that you can do whatever it is you want to do. You can be whatever it is that you want to be. We got to learn to get into the minds of our children before somebody else creeps into our mind or anything else gets into their minds and programs them to think in a negative or toxic way or in the wrong way about life and about their life specifically. So you be that one. You be that first influence in your child's life. And when I say kids, that don't mean necessarily that you have given birth to those kids or you have planted the seed for that kid's life. Your nieces and your nephew or the little kid down the street, we all have kids. I have kids. I got my nephews, they friends, we all got kids. And yeah, we should see it as that way. Our job as their elders, or just being older than them in general, is to teach them and give them our wise counsel, not to just be there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, get into our kids' minds and plant the seed of imagination and let them know that everything is possible and they create their life. So the next day is Ujima, which means collective work and responsibility. And it means to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and solve them together. So to me, this is important because it kind of ties back with the Umoja, which is the unity, because it's talking about, you know, making our brothers and sisters' problems our problems. And it's not to necessarily say make everybody's problems your own problems, because we all have our own problems, obviously. But it's about not shunning our brothers and our sisters for whatever they're going through. You know, it's about helping where you can. We're all in need of some type of help, but some of us are in more or better positions to help than others are. But a lot of times we don't, for whatever reason, ego purposes, or we feel like we're above somebody, or whatever the case may be. If it's your brother and your sister, if you see another black man or black woman struggling and you have the means to help them out, whether that's emotionally, whether that's your time, whether that's your finances, whatever the case may be, you should do your part. You know what I'm saying? Do your best to help that person. Reach out to that person. Ultimately, you get what you give in this world. Whatever you put out, you get back. So the fourth day is Bujjamma, which means cooperative economics. So this means to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses to profit from them together. So to me, this just means being mindful of the fact that, or the importance of our black dollar, us as a community and us as our own economic system. The black dollar is the most powerful. Like if the black dollar was to fall in this country falls with it. And that's part of the reason why they don't want us to achieve that independence. That's why they bombed and destroyed Black Wall Street, which was a community, a black community that we built. It was a city that we built in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that had its own thriving shops and businesses. We had bus lines, we had airplanes. It was a whole city built by black people, for black people, in which we were thriving. And because it was thriving so much, it was literally making the economy of America lopsided, and they couldn't stand it, so they bombed it, which was a terrorist attack. But we're not going to get into that. But that just goes to show you the importance of our black dollar and circulating it amongst ourselves. So we got to do that. And be mindful that, you know, if you say you're going to go to the store or you want to go shopping, why don't you think about going to a black-owned store, a black-owned shop, instead of just being so quick to just go to the mall where, you know, everything is owned by white folks pretty much. So it's about being mindful in that way. The fifth day is Nia, which means purpose. And on this day is to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to the traditional greatness, or our original greatness. I really like this because, especially because of the terms traditional greatness or original greatness. That just goes to show you how great we are, you know, we still are, but how great we were because we realized it. Today we don't realize our greatness. But with this day, it's supposed to be representative of showing and educating us and helping restore ourselves back to that original greatness through our community, whether it be building community centers or schools where we can be educated on things like that. Because in the school system, obviously, our history is slavery. That's not our history. That's our history in America. They don't tell us about our original history, how we come from kings and queens, how we have been more advanced technologically and everything than any other nation or race before this. Like, we're the first people of this planet, of this earth, but none of that is taught in our school. So it's our job to do that on this day. Help us restore the knowledge of our purpose, our true purpose here of just being great. The sixth day is Coumba, which means creativity. And on this day is to do as much as we can always, in the way that we can, in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than what we inherited it as. So this to me is just making our communities beautiful when we get there and making sure it stays that way or is more beautiful, more beneficial when we leave it. Obviously, a lot of places that we do inhabit, a lot of times they are run down or it is dirty. We don't keep it clean. We don't really value it. And I think it's about learning to do those things, using our creativity to make the most of what we have. Even though they only give us scraps, we always make the most out of it. That's why we're so great. That speaks to our greatness. You give us little, we make a lot out of it. But it's about taking care of it as well. I think we just got to use our creativity to make it more beautiful than what we found it. Whether that be, you know, putting murals on the wall, you know, building a community up with community centers and things that ultimately going to help us be better people. You know, it's not all about visual things, but it's about how can we benefit long term. The seventh day is Imani, which means faith, and it is to believe with all our hearts in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. So I really like this as well because it's about having faith in ourselves. It's kind of like being self-reliant on that only. It doesn't have anything to do with a religious belief. It's just about believing in self, believing in our people, believing in our teachers, in our leaders. Because ultimately those are the things that help influence the people that we become today. When we look up to leaders that are of this government, you know, or teachers of this nation, of America, that teach nothing about our history, celebrities, all that, we look up to those people and we value those people, and they shape who we are. And that's not the best people. We don't usually become the best people that we can because we're not being taught about our original greatness, or we're not being taught our original customs and practices and things. So we don't really know who we are. We don't know who we are. We're letting other people tell us who we are, who we should be, and most of the time it's false. Like I said, slavery, that's not our history. Yeah, we just gotta learn to believe in ourselves, believe in our teachers, believe in our leaders, and our people, and I think we'll be great. We'll be all right. So that is what Kwanzaa is. That's the 7 days of Kwanzaa. I hope that you guys learned something today. Yeah, I just hope I did my part in leaving you guys more informed than what you came into this video as. Thank y'all again for tuning in, and appreciate y'all as always. Stay worthy. Never let nobody tell you what you cannot do in this world. It's your boy Tyler. I'm out. Peace. Happy Kwanzaa.
Saguadeo ya kweru mariwo, oya de oya kweru, iye iye.